All right, guys, let's get to our next topic. It's brought to us by FanDuel. The Super Bowl is less than 2 weeks away now, and FanDuel is giving customers even more ways to get in on the action. Right now, every NFL playoff game day, including Super Bowl Sunday, is a day that FanDuel users can get a profit boost pack waiting for them inside the app. You make your picks, apply your profit boost for even bigger payouts. While the Super Bowl is going on, just visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost packs every Super Bowl Sunday. We got one last football topic to talk about, guys. Then we'll talk a little bit about the Cavs' hot stretch and the Guardians signing Jose Ramirez to an extension. But G. Bush, it may come out later today that Nate Shieldhouse is the next head coach of the Cleveland Browns. They may not come to a deal. We may not find out who the next head coach is for a few days. So I wanted to ask this before we got there. If you could design an offensive system to best suit Shedeur Sanders' skill set, assuming for this conversation the Browns go into next season with Shedeur as their starting quarterback, if you could design an offense to best fit his skill set, what do you think that offensive system would look like?
Well, I think the offensive system, despite what people say, I think that offensive system would be based on rhythm and timing. One of the things that I would do is I would come in, and as I looked at Shieldhouse as we watch these games, you take a look at what they're able to do. They're able to use motion and different things to scheme people open. But the thing that really helps them out is their offense always seems to run very well on time. They do a good job of hitting guys on the third step or the fifth step. Guys are where they are supposed to be. I think that, half of the process of a young quarterback is understanding when you need to play on rhythm, and then when things do break down, add the element of I can play off track too. The problem is sometimes when the game is fast, and sometimes when you don't have the level of people around you, you're forced to play a lot outside of structure or outside of rhythm and timing, because there's a piece of the puzzle usually is off. Or hey, I was supposed to get a little bit of time here. Right guard, right tackle. Problem. Or we were right where we needed to be on schedule. It's 2nd and 4 up, offsides, false starts. Now you 2nd and 9. Those are the things. Wide receivers not being where they were supposed to be on certain routes. So for me, I think timing is the key. And then I want to accentuate the fact that he can move. I thought he moved a lot better than people gave him credit for. So I want to see more things and move in the pocket and some things like that, getting him out on the rollout and different things. And then I do want to accentuate also the ability to throw the football downfield. If you look at it and you take a look at what he was able to do, he threw the ball down further than most quarterbacks do in the league. And he threw the ball with a nice touch and deep ball when you have Isaiah Bond. He threw some stuff to Jerry Jeudy. So I want to mix that in. And the thing that I think is going to help them the most is a solid, solidified run game. A run game in which you can still do some things. People talk like Kevin Stefanski. One thing that Kevin Stefanski did well in his early tenure with the Cleveland Browns was play action. You watch the Rams. The Rams are able to run play action and get the ball out and do things like that. So for me, I want an offense that is built on timing, built on a competent running game, built on guys being where they're supposed to be, and then the chunk plays, adding that into the mix and keeping the defense honest.
Bull?
So a couple things. Number one, to me, the good coaches adjust what they do to the talent they have. And I know not every coach does that, but I think the best coaches do that. Number two, no team should ever hire a coach because of their system is better for their quarterback, unless that quarterback is a sure thing, which is not the case here. So to hire a coach that, if you're factoring in, which I'm sure they're not, but if they were factoring in, like, which coach's offensive system is best for Shedeur Sanders, that would be a very stupid thing to do. Same thing with any other quarterback that you're not sure is the guy on any team. Same thing with the Cardinals when they're hiring a guy. They whatever. So, but that being said, I mean, I don't know what else is left to say. G. Bush hit on all of it. So I do think his ability to go deep, and a lot of that was kind of out of rhythm, but I do think his ability to go deep is probably his strength. So I do think you want to be able to do that. I don't know that they really have the talent to do that consistently, but I think that, if in theory, based on your thing here, if you were hiring a coach specifically to help Shedeur Sanders, I think that's something you definitely would want. You'd want a coach that is willing to take shots down the field, because I think that's his strength.
Jason?
I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but I talked to a coach who worked with Daniel Jones at one point in his career, and he said the guy I was talking to is not a big Shedeur fan, but he said if you're going to try and make it work with him, I think he has to be in shotgun 90% of the time and run a lot of RPOs. And Shedeur's got to get the ball out faster. And there are quarterbacks who hold on to the ball and have success. Deshaun, when he was playing well, was one of them. Deshaun held the ball extremely long. Caleb Williams holds on to the ball longer than almost any quarterback in the NFL. So you can hold on to the ball and have success, but you have to help your line out. And he's got it. He held on to the ball longer this year than I think he had I'm doing this off memory. I think he had the fourth longest time to throw in the last 25 years. Shedeur did. So it's got to get out faster. And one way to do that, simplify the reads, put him in shotgun and run RPO. And you can make quick decisions that way. And you're looking at one or two defenders. What are they doing? Okay, I'm going to hand it off. I'm going to throw it. And it helps to keep you on schedule. And it keeps you in front of the chains for the most part. And it's just quick. Everything is quick. Everything is fast. So, and the guy I was talking to said, look at what Shane Steichen did this year with Daniel Jones and how the Colts sort of operated. And he felt like that would be a system where if Shedeur's going to have success in the NFL, that's how you do it. Put him in shotgun, simplify the reads that he has to make, and get the ball out of his hands quickly.
It is funny. That feels counterintuitive to what we saw Shedeur do best this year, which was throw the deep ball. And it's really hard to throw the deep ball, as G's alluded to, if your offensive line can't give you enough protection to allow the receivers to get deep enough to connect on those deep passes. So a lot of the offensive system relies on the talent around you as a quarterback. But to Jason's point, I do think an RPO shotgun system for Shedeur kind of accentuates what we saw him do really well this year, which was if he's locked in on a certain side, you're reading one or two defenders, making the throw. They did it a ton at Colorado. That's how Travis Hunter turned so many of those quick 6-7 yard slants into 60-yard house calls because of the electricity he had as a playmaker with the ball in his hands. And as much as we want to see Shedeur or any quarterback throw deep 100 times a game, I mean, it's just not realistic. So if the Browns can incorporate a quick kind of RPO shotgun system, sprinkling a few deep shots, it also kind of protects your offensive line because it's hard as a pass rusher to get that far upfield if it's getting out of your hands so quickly and there's the threat of the run game involved. So I can't believe I'm saying Daniel Jones is the model of a Shedeur Sanders offense. I don't think that's necessarily the apples to apples comparison, because I don't think Shedeur and Daniel Jones are similar quarterbacks per se, but I kind of do agree that system would kind of accentuate what Shedeur does best, in my opinion.
Just go watch what the Colts did this year on offense, what Steichen did on offense. That's all.
You mean when they collapsed the second half of the season?
After Daniel Jones broke his foot.
Yeah, he was hurt.
I think I was talking to Sean King on the barbershop. It was like a couple of days ago, and he said something I do think is very important. Whatever it is, and I say this wholeheartedly because this happened with me. When you are transitioning into another coach, right? When you go from one coach to another, you have to realize that, like, as soon as you get that next coach, you better be next to him. When I talk about next to him, I'm talking about I don't care if you got to go move in. He a young dude, you a young dude. And Sean King said something. He said, "Tell me, I want him to go to the coach and say, hey, teach me the way you think about the game and your expression that you want me to understand and to communicate and then implement." Because the quarterback is the extension of the offensive coordinator who's calling the plays, right? And to be the best extension and to be successful, you want it to be seamless. Like when you see it, the offensive coordinator see it. The way he saw it in his dreams when he drew it up is the way you see it happening on the field. And I think a lot of what Shedeur Sanders, and people say, well, how can you just imagine that he's just going to get better? Well, how you get better is understanding the game and understanding, hey, I saw it this time. You can actually go back in your 7 games and you can look at the film and say, ooh, I got fooled right here. Why did I get fooled right here? This coverage, what gave me trouble about this coverage? And the more and more you get the opportunity to see those, I think during the offseason is you solidify yourself, because at the end, the coach is going to pick one of the guys and he's going to roll with one of the guys. You want to be the guy that he wants to put the game plan around you, right? Like if he picks you, it's different from, I always tell people, it's different from when you decide to take a girl to the dance, or the girl dance with that want to go to dance with you. She tap you, say, G Bush, you want to go to dance with me? I guarantee you, young fellas, go with the girl that really wants to go with you. I'm going to tell you it's going to work out for you. So you got to be a dude in Shedeur Sanders who, hey, I'm available, I'm eager, I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to learn. Every quarterback in that room, that goes for Deshaun Watson or Dylan Gabriel. It's a fresh start. It's a new coach. It's a new coordinator. It's a new life. You come in with your pen and a pad and start to learn the game from ground zero. I guarantee you, you'll be better off this year than you were before, because now you have a new perspective. Everybody got to start over from scratch. So I encourage him, as soon as they figure out who it is, you better be knocking on that door and say, what's the playbook? What's the game plan?
By the way, what's the chat going to say when the new coach makes Shedeur Sanders write an essay? It's going to be all hell's going to break loose.
Oh, no, he might have to do more than that. What you mean? They got tests every day? No, for real. Like, when a new coach come in, let me just tell you how this be working. When a new coach come in, like, remember Eric Mangini was finding people for water on a bus? Do we remember that people was going crazy?
I don't remember that.
Eric Mangini was finding people because they was like taking water bottles at the hotel or something.
Oh my God.
And so people was going crazy. But when you get a new coach, bro, the conditioning ratchet up, the game plan is different. Bro, you better be ready to go, because ain't no picks. Everybody is starting over from ground zero, man. He might be writing essays.